This animation you're watching right now, I didn't make it. I just gave Claude one transcript and it did the whole thing for me. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with this, Anthropic just pushed a pretty big update to their AI design tool. It's called Claude Design. And this update kind of turned it into a proper design app. One of the new things it can do is take plain text and turn it into an actual animated video. So I gave it one transcript and this is what it made. I mean, I did nothing here. I didn't even open a design tool. The thing that used to mean hiring a motion designer just came out of a paragraph of text. So I stopped messing around and ran it like a real test. I'm gonna show you what I actually fed it, where it genuinely nailed it, and honestly, the two spots where it kind of falls apart. Because it does. And stick around to the end. That second one completely changed how I'd actually use this. Oh, and real quick, before we get into it, if you're actually running something like a business or an agency or whatever, and you want to make it leaner with all this AI stuff, that's basically what we do inside my school community. It's the AI Builders Boardroom. And I'll also drop all the resources from this video in there for you. So the prompts and everything I used to pull this off. Links in the description. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, I'll be real with you. This wasn't totally magic. I set something up first that made it come out this clean. And I'll show you exactly what I did. So I didn't start from scratch. Here's what I did. So I took this Framer template of this website. Big shout out to these guys, by the way. And so I took a screenshot of this whole web page and I used this Chrome extension. It's called Awesome Screen Recorder. I'm not sponsored by these guys, but this is what I took. So this is the full screenshot it took. And then what I did next is I went into the Claude desktop app and I opened Claude Design. So if I navigate all the way to Claude Design, so if I select chart and I select design, you'll notice now it takes me to a new window inside the Claude desktop app. Now, in the previous Claude Design model, if I opened Claude Design, it would take me to a browser version of it. But right now, it's taking me to a new window inside the desktop app. And you'll notice here is where we need to so you notice here we've got a place where we need to key in our prompt, and then we need to add our design system right here. Here's where we add our templates, and we can generate all this from a template. And so what I did is from inside Claude Design, so I fed this screenshots and I told it to replicate the website, and it came up with a pretty close copy of the website. The only thing the only things that were off probably was exactly matching the font. So I'm gonna give you a side-by-side comparison so that you check this out. So if you look at them side by side, the only thing it missed was the logo. So it came up with its own logo. So the left is the actual website I replicated, and the right is what Claude Design came up with. So you notice it's pretty close. So if I scroll down, so you notice this font is a bit bold, but it looks like it came from the same font family. So if I keep scrolling, it even was able to replicate this dashboard, although it replicated half of it, which is pretty close. So here's the most interesting part. The actual website, if I go to the actual website, you notice it has scroll animations. So notice as I'm scrolling, it's revealing this text right here. And that's the same thing for every element in this website. So how the Chrome extension was taking the full page screenshot is it was taking, so it was first scrolling, taking a screenshot, scrolling again, taking a screenshot. So while it was doing that, it took a screenshot while the text wasn't fully revealing. And if you notice, it's really hard for us to tell, or it's going to be really hard for an AI to tell what the actual words were. But Claude Opus 4.8 was actually able to decode exactly what the text were, even though it was blurred out. So you'll notice this is the exact text in the actual website. And if we scroll down, it got this section correctly. It also got this section correctly, the portfolio section. So apart from some slight font mismatches, this was actually pretty close. And in case you're wondering how we got to this Claude design view, when you log into Claude design for the first time, just make sure the design system here is unchecked. Probably you won't have a design system yourself, but this is where you key in your prompt and you feed your image. So you're going to attach a file and then tell it to replicate that screenshot. And once you do that, it's going to take you to this it's going to take you to this view. So you're going to have a preview of what it's making, as well as chart on the left hand side. And this is where you keep tweaking. And so if you want to suggest any changes, you can just select the markup, and then you can draw the markup and then leave a comment here, and it's going to make the changes. And comments are for your team to see. And then if you don't want to use markup, you can also suggest edits in form of text. And a really important update is that now you can actually manually edit each element. So for example, if you don't want this text to read "take control of your digital assets," what you can do, you can double click and select what we want to adjust, and then maybe change it to something else, and it's good to go. So instead of prompting Claude Design to do it for you, you do it yourself, which is an important upgrade, because from what I've seen while testing this new Claude Design is that it consumes a lot of tokens. So you might use up your limit faster if you're prompting AI to do these small changes for you. So once I had replicated this website, I went ahead and clicked share, and then I exported it as a project archive. So once I did that, my goal was to actually create a design system. And what a design system is basically a guideline of how your brand is supposed to look. So the typography, the colors, how the elements are supposed to look like, all that. So that's what we call a design system. So that every single design asset you come up with follows your brand guidelines. So I went back to this homepage, and I navigated all the way to the design systems, and I selected create a new design system. So I clicked here to select create a new design system, and then I selected create here, although you can also use Claude Code, but I just decided to upload the files. So I selected click here, and then I give it a company name and a blurb, and then here's where I dropped the code. So I just click here, went to my file explorer where the files were, attached them, and then I clicked continue to generation. It took about roughly 5 minutes, and it took me to this view. So like I said, the right hand side is where you preview the actual visuals, and the left is where you continue to chat with the Claude inside the Claude design. So it designed the design system. So if we scroll through this, you'll notice, so here it gives us the voice, the persona, the casing, the tone, then the visual foundations, the iconography. And so now here we have how the buttons are supposed to look like, the accents, the semantic, all this stuff. Now, once this design system was created, so I went back to the homepage, went to the design systems, but this wasn't showing up in the drop-down list. And this is one downside about the Claude design inside this app. So what I did is I had to close this. So I had to close Claude design on my desktop and open it again for it to show up in the list right here. Once it showed up, the next thing I did is I decided to first test by creating slides to see if the design system is actually working. So this is the slide it came up with. It follows the brand guidelines. And another update is we now get speaker notes. So what I did is I fed it a transcript of one of my videos and told it to come up with slides for it. And you'll notice if I scroll through, it actually follows the brand guidelines. So this is exactly how the website looks like, but now the slides follow the design style. So once I had these slides, and actually one thing, when you create slides inside Claude Design, if you click the share button and you click, actually, if you click present and then you select full window, you can now present your slides inside of Claude Design on your computer. And this is pretty amazing. With the new update of Claude Design, you can now export it as a PowerPoint. So I can select PowerPoint and it's going to export it as a PowerPoint. So once I had the slides in place, I now decided to test it with something else. How about from the templates, I noticed it can do animation. So how about, so I'll go to one of my YouTube videos. So I actually took this video, one of my videos, and then clicked show transcript. And then I copied the transcript with timestamps. The thing that's really important is the timestamps. I copied the transcript with timestamps. You notice this is the transcript with the timestamps. No, so here's the prompt I fed it. So I told it to generate an animation for the first 30 seconds in the video, and then I told it to animate only the sections that really need animation, because for a YouTube video, the first 30 seconds shouldn't fully be animations. So we should have animation, screen share, and my talking head videos sharing the first 30 seconds so that it's engaging. And then after telling it that, I gave it the timestamped transcript, and it came up with this, which is mind-blowing considering this is its first try. And one thing I need to mention is it actually asked me a couple of questions. So notice it asked me about the format, and then it asked me about the payoff. So I told it, uh, so it asked me about the moments. I answered it, and then it asked me about the style, and I told it to use a lot of diagrams to illustrate the most complex stuff in the intro. And then for the captions, I told it to decide for me. And you'll notice at the bottom we have the captions. So it decided to go with displaying with my captions. So there's also another downside to this. Despite me telling it to select sections that need actual animation, it went ahead and generated the full 30-second animation. So I'm not sure if this is Opus 4.8's fault or my fault. So that's the downside. So you really need to do the back and forth right here in chat and tell it what to do. But to me, this is actually really good because I can use this video. So if you want to export this as a video, you just click the share button. You're going to click export, and then you're going to select video. And then you're going to download it, and it's going to end up in your file explorer, in your downloads folder, or whatever folder your downloads go to. Once I have this video, for me it's easier. I'll just need to use the sections that I actually need. The ones that I don't, I'll just get rid of them. This is actually really interesting. It saves a lot of money because animation is one of the most expensive stuff when creating videos. Just step back with me for a second and look at what happened. One screenshot and one transcript turned into a website, a design system, a full slide deck, and an animation. And all of it looks like the exact same brand. Like I promised, this isn't all sunshine. There are two spots where this really fell apart. And the first one is the usage. Because when I started doing this, I recorded the very first interaction with it when I was creating the website. And I took a screenshot of the usage. And I'm actually on the Claude Max plan, and my usage was at 16%. The interaction between me feeding it the screenshot of the website so from me feeding it a screenshot of the full website to it replicating the whole website, the usage was now at 30%, which is too much if you ask me, because that was only one task. I didn't record the percentage after I generated the Claude design system, but I'd guess it could have been pretty much almost the same consumption. Now, here's what I think. They really did a good thing updating it so that the usage limits it's using is your main usage limit. Before, Claude Design used to have its own usage limits, which were lower, and we would blow it up with like one or two tasks. So right now, even though it's using your main usage limit, it's still consuming too much credits. So that's one thing you need to note. Now, the second one, and this is the one that changed how I'd use it, is that you can't trust it blindly. So like you saw with the task I gave it to replicate the website, it didn't get everything correctly. So you need to double check what it's done before you share it as a finished project. So here's what actually changed for me. I stopped thinking about this as a magic button that gives you finished work, because to be honest, it's not. A lot of people online are calling this the end of designers, or the Figma killer, all of that. But that's not what it is. What it actually is the fastest way I've ever seen to get to a really good first draft. It gets you like 80 to 90% of the way there in minutes. But the last 20%, the taste, knowing what's actually good and fixing what's not, that's still on you. But once I saw the whole thing work, it kind of hit me what this really is. This isn't about one animation. Think about what just happened. From basically a screenshot and some text, I got a whole brand's worth of content that all matches. And for someone like me running Loopsera, that's my AI agency, that's kind of wild because it means you don't need a designer on call just to look legit anymore. It's basically your whole brand in a box. And just so you know, I'm talking about a box that you still got to double check. If you're someone who wants to move fast and get a solid first draft you can build on, especially if you're not a designer, then yes, I think it's genuinely worth trying. But if you're expecting to type one prompt and get something you can ship with 0 edits, you're gonna be let down because it's just not there yet. And if you want to see me build something real with this, start to finish, tell me in the comments. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.